Hi Nirbhik.
Hello. Hey, hi, Meenal. How are you?
Hi everyone. I'm Neil Prakash, second year student of JP Institute of Information Technology and a core team member of GDSC. Today we have here Nirbhik Jangid, the founder of the Dapp List. He's highly qualified in blockchain and today we'll be learning a lot from him. Hi Nirbhik, welcome to the session.
Thank you, Meenal. Thanks a lot for inviting me and giving this stage to me for me to speak with devs who are attending this hackathon. I'm really pleased. Uh, Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Hi sir, can you give a brief information that how did you get into blockchain?
Sure. So it's an interesting journey altogether. So this was back in 2017 when I was exploring industries like AI, VR, AR, and blockchain as well. And then I came across this a small document which was all about which was basically the Bitcoin white paper, and that was my entry to the rabbit hole. I read that white paper and I was amazed by by the technology, by the what changes it can bring into the current internet ecosystem, right? So I was amazed by that, and then I started reading more about it, and then I read the white paper of Ethereum, and I was
Okay. How would you explain blockchain in a
went into
line or
these
two?
So blockchain is like a ledger, which is immutable. No one can make changes to it. Um, all the data that is stored on blockchain is it can't be tampered, and it's like internet itself, but it has more applications to it. You can build applications on top of it. You can run them. You can think of a banking application running on blockchain without any central authority.
Okay. Can you give any platforms to develop blockchain?
Yes, so the best one is to get started with Ethereum, learn Solidity, build. If you want to learn, then you can go for the Crypto Zombies course, which is highly, important to get into the ecosystem. So search for Crypto Zombies. It's a nice tutorial. It's a game where you play the game and you learn about overall how to build applications in Solidity.
Okay. Can you give me an example that why blockchain is a trusted approach?
Yes, so there are many. So think of today if you are, let's say, using a social network, or let's take a basic example of transaction. So today if you're using any application, which is a third party application, and you are making payments. Um,
Yeah.
if anything goes wrong, they have the authority. There's a central source which controls all the data and everything, and it knows who are you and what payments you're making. And if there's, they have all the data to tamper with. But if you think of blockchain, it's decentralized. So your data is stored on nodes. It's not there on one single server, or the server running on these centralized services. So your data is secure, and whatever transactions you make, it's your authority. You own that wallet. You own that amount that you own, right? So it's not, no one can take that from you. So it's much more secure in a way. Um, yeah, I think that would be the basic example that would probably people will understand much.
Okay. Does the decentralized nature of the blockchain make it more secure?
Yes, it does. So again, I'll give one more example. So think of, let's say, one single source where every data is kept and it's at one single place. If any breakage happens or any theft happens, the data is gone, right? But think of
Yeah.
a network of decentralized nodes where your data is on those nodes, and those nodes are basically everywhere in the world. Even if you are able to get catch hold of one node, you won't be able to make change to the network. So it certainly makes a secure to your interactions. Your interactions are secure. But yeah, I mean, like applications are limited right now. So you can think of payment applications. There are, experiments being made where people are experimenting with social networks on blockchain, and that is
Yeah.
still underway.
Okay. So talking of blockchain, what are your thoughts of NFT?
NFT is a good use case. And before getting into that, I will probably explain what is NFT, right? In a basic term. So think of
Yeah.
today you have currency, let's say INR, right? That's fungible.
Yeah.
You can go today to a shop, you can give that your currency, and you can buy something, right? So those are fungible tokens, but that's digital, right? Now think of
Yeah.
a property that you own. Think of a house. Think of a painting. Think of a car, right? That's
Yeah.
non-fungible. If you want to sell it, you need to go into the market. People will bid on it. People will, give their own bids. People will have their own negotiation points and things like that, and then you will sell it. So those are
Yeah.
non-fungibles, and think of them
Okay.
on digital. So that's non-fungible tokens in a sense. And coming back to your question,
Yeah.
that was basically around how non-fungible tokens are, you know, are they worth millions of dollars, right? That's your question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about rarity. So today, if I own, uh, let's say, the painting of Da Vinci, any painting that Da Vinci has made, right? There's a
Yeah.
provability to it on blockchain. So if I own, there's a hash that hash is related to my transaction that I made to buy the painting, right? And no one
Yeah.
else has that, right? So I own that piece. I can prove that on blockchain that this is my hash and I bought this painting. This is my wallet address. That is
Yeah.
one case where you can where there is provability. Now coming to the second point, which is rarity, right? There are several projects that are already out there, which in every piece which is made on blockchain has a rare identity, rare metadata to it, right? So your hash when you bought it will be different from the hash that someone else has,
Yeah.
right? The properties that particular, right? And every piece was hand drawn and it was different from the other one. And that's what brought rarity to those pieces. Similarly, in NFTs, every piece on blockchain has a different hash, different metadata, and they are rare in terms of properties. And that's the reason owning them worth $1 billion is definitely worth, because you can own one piece that you own it, right? So every piece is unique as well.
Okay. So we saw on
Yeah.
your profile that that you're founder of the Dapp List. Can you explain
Yep.
something about it?
Yep.
And
Definitely. So yeah. Please go on.
we thought that you were connecting Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 in that
Yes. Exactly.
organization. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so when you think of blockchain, there's a lot of gap when a Web 2 person wants to get started with the ecosystem, right? And there are these stigma at the back of the mind that crypto is scam for a lot of people. Now, the
Yeah.
point is basically that notion has been built over the period on each year, right? In 2014, there were so many scams out there. The 2017 scams again, and still we have a lot of scams in the ecosystem. Now, you can't eliminate them completely. So what we have done is basically we have built an ecosystem where we have three different modules: explore, bidle, invest. Every module is unique in itself because they cater to different audiences. Explore is
Yeah.
specifically for users who are trying to get into the ecosystem and they are exploring Web3. Now, how we are different from other is basically in a normal. So think of Explore as App Store. Okay, so today if you
Okay.
use, let's say, Apple App Store, you can see application, you can browse through application. and there's Apple security who is validating everything, that whether this application is good for you or not. Now, if anything goes rogue over there, right, and you lose your money while investing into any application, right, there's no one
Yeah.
to take responsibility. The same thing is happening in the current ecosystem as well. Now, how we are doing this different is basically we don't have a centralized process of listing any application. It's the community who is curating and governing these applications. So every application that you see on the daplist.com is curated and governed by the community. They create proposals and then people vote on it. And they earn reputation, which will in return in future they will be able to mint NFTs of those reputation points that they have earned. Right? Think of it like games. When you play games, you earn XP over the period, and those XP unlock your in-game items. Similarly, in our case, NFTs. Now that is Explore, where you can learn about new applications every week. Coming to the second part, which is Daplist, Daplist will be a go live will be a launchpad where anyone can pitch in front of the community, and they can pitch it to the community. They can bootstrap their community through us. They can launch it on Explore, which is the app store, which is the face of Web3, where you get started with Web3, right? And third is
Yeah.
Invest, where we are building tools for investors to bring capital, to invite capital to Web3 ecosystem, where all these participants who are curating applications on Explore, people who are part of Biddle, who are mentoring these projects, who are joining us from Web3 ecosystem, and all these partners will be part of a DAO, which will collectively decide and fund these experiments coming out of Biddle, right?
Yeah.
And this DAO will be basically owned by or controlled by all the contributors in the ecosystem of the Dapp.
Okay.
So,
So coming
yeah.
to my next question, what is the future of 3.0?
Uh, so I mean, when we talk about this question takes me back to the ages when internet was just getting started, right?
Yeah.
People used to ask, "What is the future of internet?" Right? And today we are, having this chat because of internet, right?
Yeah.
So it's more of technology takes time to grow. The future we have already seen in 2014, the case was different, where you had infrastructure layer protocols being built like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other, right? And then
Yeah.
in 2017, you had these problems with the infrastructure layer projects were not able to scale faster, right? So think of
Yeah.
this problem like let's say you have the when like probably 5 or 10 years back, when you have to make a bigger transaction, you have to go to bank, you have to deposit a check, and that check will be you know probably redeemed, or the money will be transferred within 24 hours or 8 hours. Now we
Yeah.
have UPI to make those transfers. So technology took some time, but now we are way ahead of where we were before. Similarly, in case of blockchain, in 2014, these infrastructure layer developments were there, but the applications were not there. In 2017, these applications came, and they were able to break yeah. So there was these scalable options that came in, which is basically layer twos, right? So now these layer
Yeah.
twos are the network of blockchains which are built on top of the base layer, and they are able to now scale these transactions. And you can actually make applications like UPI on top of these infrastructure layer. Now more of these applications can be made. So now there can be more experiments, there can be more usable options for a normal user, and they can get into ecosystem. So it takes time for a tech to reach the mass audience, but we once we reach there, right, the adoption is not a question.
Okay. So what do you think about cryptocurrency? Talking of it.
Cryptocurrency. So before going over there, I will take a step back and talk about what is the relation between a blockchain and a cryptocurrency. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
Now, every network, think of Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? Let's say today people are validating these transactions on the blockchain. What is the reward for them? The reward for them is basically this Bitcoin that they earn while they mine these transactions, right? So for
Yeah,
an
yeah,
economy to thrive, so today for Indian ecosystem we have INR, right? If we don't have INR, we won't be able to transact. We won't be able to buy or sell anything, right? So you need a
yeah,
fungible token attached to this economy, right? In similar sense, for Ethereum there is ETH, for Polkadot there's Dot, right? And for Matic there's
yeah,
for Polygon there's Matic, right? And these fungible tokens incentivize people to run their mining nodes, to run their validator nodes, where they can validate these transactions, and in return they are rewarded. If they don't perform at certain operations right, they are slashed. Their tokens are lost. They lose their stake. So these
yeah,
currencies, these cryptocurrencies, in a sense, are powering the overall ecosystem. If I mean, there are a lot of meme coins like Doggy Coin and Shiba Inu and all those kind of thing coins. Stay away from them. But in a sense, these cryptocurrencies are the backbone of, are a part of the blockchain ecosystem overall, and they power these networks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you mean by blocks in blockchain?
So blocks are basically think of them as data points. I mean, like um so each ledger, right? Each ledger will have these smaller blocks, which store the data of all the transactions that happened during that period. So A sent
Yeah,
$100 to B, B sent $50 to C, and these blocks hold the data that I just talked about, right? And every block
yeah,
will have its own hash, which will basically have a hash of previous one, and it will provide a next hash to the upcoming block, right? Which creates a
yeah,
ledger connection between them, right? So now you know that block 1000, and after that there'll be a block 10001, right? So it builds a
yeah,
connection between these transactions, and you can basically, when you check these transactions on a blockchain, you can track. Okay, so A paid to B, B paid to C, and C paid to D in the next block, right? So
yeah.
that stores the data that whatever happens on blockchain.
Okay. So coming to my next question, what are Merkel trees and how are they important in blockchain?
So Merkle trees are very important because these help basically uh, you know to store basically the overall encodes the blockchain data in basically it's a technology, right, where whatever data is there, it encodes the data in an efficient manner, where it enables anyone to verify the blockchain data, right? Uh,
Yeah,
Also, it allows the movement of data from basically one node to another. That's Merkle rule.
yeah. Okay. So how will you motivate students to learn blockchain and make as much use as they can?
Uh, okay, so first of all, I will I'll talk about why right now.
Yeah,
As you see, the movement is happening. People are building these use cases like NFTs, Metawars, DeFi applications. There are DAOs which are being built now. Now, why you should move now is basically we
yeah,
already have these tools being built. You can experiment more now, right? And there
yeah,
are billions of tokens locked in these DeFi protocols, right? So there's already people moving towards blockchain, and every tech where you move before other people, to learn about Web3, to build blockchain applications. Get started with it. Read about what is blockchain. Read about what is Web3. What are dApps. Join these DAOs to participate. Learn about the basic understanding. Get the basic understanding clear first, without rather than getting into cryptocurrencies first. First, understand what is
Yeah.
blockchain, what are dApps, how these transactions happen, what can you build on top of it, and then get into these cryptocurrencies. Before getting into that, first start building these applications, try out these networks, participate in DAOs, right? You can explore so
Yeah.
many of these on the Taplist.com. If you go over there, you will see these applications, you will see NFT projects, you will see Metaverse applications that are verified by the community. Try out these applications, join the DAOs, and build something internally in DAOs. So in DAOs, basically, there are opportunities where they provide grants to people, to developers. If you like an idea, if you want to build, try out these ideas, get the grant, build further, build smaller projects which can be basically part of the overall tooling, and then from there you get move forward. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think the role of blockchain is in metaverse?
Now, so blockchain adds another interesting layer to the metaverse. Right now, if you think of metaverse, right, there are
Yeah.
metaverse being built using centralized sources, right? But when you
Yeah.
think of blockchain, it takes it to another level. When I say that, I talk more about decentralization and owning the data, right? So
Yeah.
today, if let's say it's a centralized service, you are owning a piece of land, you can't prove it anyway, right? But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
own a land which is on blockchain inside the metaverse, you can provide the hash to anyone. You can provide the your each item has its own ID, so you can provide the ID that I own this specific land in the metaverse. Whatever interactions that happen, whatever dress that you buy, right? Those can be NFTs, right? So you own those NFTs. If today you are participating, you're going to party into metaverse, you're going to sessions, you are attending something, you can get these goodies, right? And these will be basically NFTs. So no one can take these NFTs from you. That is why having metaverse on a blockchain makes it more ownable,
Yeah.
shareable, right? And you can prove
Yeah.
the data.
Okay. So, how does a complete beginner start with a blockchain and crypto?
So if you talk about from the technical side, then
Yeah.
you can basically get started with the looking at these courses like Crypto Zombies. It has a very interesting course which you can take. It's free. Anyone can do that, and it's gamified. So you play and you build. It's sort of that. If you want to get started with, if you're a non-techie, then you can join a DAO to get started with it.
Okay. So, is the understanding of blockchain really important to just invest in crypto?
Sorry, I lost you there. Is understanding blockchain
Okay.
really important to just
Is
invest in
the
crypto?
understand? Is the
Okay,
understand?
so
Yeah.
I mean, like before investing anywhere, buying a flat, right? Before even buying a flat, you will go around and you will see the surroundings, right? Where it
Yeah.
is, right? Why it is built over there, right? You will not just invest in a flat which is in a desert, right? You won't do that,
Yeah.
right? So you'll check the surrounding before. So learning about blockchain, the infrastructure which that particular token supports, that is very important for you to get started. Also, you don't have to understand the technical terms. You don't have to learn to develop before getting into crypto, but you need to have a basic understanding, right? What
Yeah.
exactly that token helps in, right? If it doesn't have a utility, then you are investing into a meme coin.
Okay. How much time will it take to be an intermediate in blockchain?
It all depends on basically your urge to learn about blockchain, right? If you
Yeah.
are too eager, then I think maximum a month to get the basics right.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are the layers in blockchain?
Uh, so there are any stack that you see in tech, right? It has different layers to it.
Yeah.
You have infrastructure layer, you have then the protocol layers, you have application layers. Think of examples like when you had internet was your infrastructure layer.
Yeah.
Send emails to xyz pool. There is infrastructure layer like ethereum, and then you have these protocols, defi protocols, or the basic protocols that are being built, which can be forked by anyone, and they can build their
Yeah.
own applications. And then you have these applications like Uniswap, Aave, that are being built on top of it. And then you have browsers like the Daplist.com or Argent, these wallets which are making the interactions easy. Yep.
Okay. So, can you give us some ideas about the projects in blockchain? What hackers can use their project into, or something that excites you in projects?
Mm, I didn't get your question completely,
Okay.
but is it related to like what reference people can take? Is it that?
What projects can people make on blockchain?
Okay, what use case can be built, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so today if you want to build something, you can build banks on top of blockchain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good examples are Aave. You go to Aave, you can lend money, you can borrow money. Similarly, you have Compound, which is again bank. You can build portfolio applications where basically which is similar to your Zerodha, right? So
Yeah.
you can invest in Web3, you can invest in DeFi, and the backbone will be again provided by DeFi applications like Aave or Compound, right? You
Yeah.
can build NFT marketplaces. So if anyone wants to trade these NFTs, think of them as Amazon of assets, where people can sell these assets. You can build those marketplaces. You can even build social network today, although the interaction part will be off chain, because for each post otherwise people have to pay for it. So you'll have signatures, you can keep it off chain, and then you maintain their transactions, whatever they make, on chain, right? So you can build social media
Yeah.
application, you can build marketplaces, you can build these interaction layer applications like DeFi application, portfolio management applications. You can do all of those.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nirbhik. It was really nice talking to you. And I have to make an announcement that registration for BitBox has started. Register ASAP. The amazing gifts and prizes that will be announced soon.
Perfect. Thank you, Meenal. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for joining me and
It
listening to
was
me.
amazing
Uh,
talking to you. Uh, we learned a lot today. And
Perfect. Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot for inviting me. It was nice speaking with you.
Yeah.
Start exploring, start getting into Web3. Head over to
Yeah.
thedaplist.com and you'll be able to explore applications in Web3. Thank you. Thanks a lot for
Okay.
inviting
Thank
me.
you. Thank you
Take care.
so
Bye
much.
bye.